Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Another day of triathlon training. What an audience I've got this morning. Morning, girls. That's what Liz would say. So today is Saturday morning, headed out for a bike ride. I'm trying to be really positive and happy because I was positive and happy, but I don't feel like I can't talk about this. Over the last few weeks, I've had a few incidents on the roads with motorists. Nothing serious, thankfully. I've been on my bike the whole time, but you know, close passes and so on. Now, thank you to Garmin, who hooked me up with this Varia rear light radar and camera. This is not a sponsored plug, but genuinely thank you to them giving me this. I've been able to record footage and report things to the police when things happen. Now, over the last few weeks, we've heard of a couple of fatalities on the roads. Most recently, a lady in Wales who passed away, tragic to hear, out on her own cycling and was hit by a car. Of course, you see it reported like incident between cyclists and motorists. Obviously, the motorist is 99% of the time at fault. Vulnerable road users are cyclists, aren't they? But the thing I try and come back to are, people are driving cars and people are riding bikes. We're all people, we're not just cyclists and drivers. So over the last few weeks, I've had a couple of things that make you think, oh, I'm a bit worried about riding on the roads. I reported 2 incidents last week. One was when I cycled, in fact, both on the same day. I've been to see Dan at UK Bike Fit, and I was about 300 metres away from Vela Bavarian. I'd come to pass a cyclist, I pulled out into the road in good time, and then as I was going past the cyclist, I've been in the probably a third of the way across the road for about 100 metres or so. A car came past me, really close past me, like to the extent that I was banging on the side of his car because he was going to knock me off my bike. Got to the next traffic lights, he was giving it hand gestures and whatever, so I didn't stop, but I had that on camera, so I didn't have the front view, but obviously I had the rear view. Submitted that, and that driver has been sent a warning letter. Now, what effect that will have, I don't know. Whether it antagonises drivers or not, I don't know, but it's better than nothing. Derbyshire have like a Operation Snap thing in place. You just submit footage online and a bit brief description. And then secondly, I was going around a right-hand corner, blind bend, and a car passed me on double solid white lines, and there was a car coming the opposite way that it didn't see because it was a blind bend, and to avoid a head-on collision, it swung back in, just missed me by about centimetres in front of me, and then carried on. I reported that, and that was taking us no further action. I've read the criteria for what constitutes a no warning letter, and I can't believe that it's no further action. I have challenged it but not heard anything back. I'm not sure if they have an appeals process or not, so it makes you think, oh, what's the point? So today I'm just cycling out on my own. I've got 3 hours to do, just steady, nothing too crazy, just got to go for a little bike ride on my own. I'm about half an hour into my ride. I was coming down towards Ambergate, if anybody knows it, and there was, so this radar system, I can see when there's cars behind me, there's dots on the screen on my Garmin. Now, sometimes you can see them coming fast and it flashes red, which is really helpful. Sometimes they're coming slowly. And I could see there's 2 or 3 dots, but halfway down my screen, so that's like 30, 40 metres behind. So I know that they're coming towards me, but they're not like on my arse. And I heard a beep, and I thought, oh, what's going off there? But there was like 2 or 3 dots that, well, whatever. And then I believe it was 2 cars came past me, loads of space, not a problem. I thought, okay, was no issue there, is there? Obviously, somebody was beeping at somebody else further back. Then the third car, a black Audi A3, which I've probably got the footage from, close past me, beeped, and I put my hand up like, what the hell? I don't understand what I've done wrong here. And he continued going, and there were some pedestrians on the side of the road, and I shouted something like, what am I even doing? And he said something like, something like, don't worry about it, mate, or you haven't done anything wrong, or something like that. Like, in the pedestrians clock what's happening. And then I got to the next junction, this vehicle was turning right. Now I'm a lover, not a fighter, right? But when you're in these situations, you get a bit of adrenaline, don't you? But I'm not out there for a confrontation with anybody. I'm just out here trying to not die. So I came to the junction to turn left, and this car was turning right. He had his passenger window down, and he was shouting something, and I just thought, this isn't something I want to get involved in. So I just pulled left, but then he accelerated harshly. Was obviously really unhappy about, I don't know, me being on the road. I don't understand. I know I'm not the most fashionable, but it's not that offensive, surely. But it just makes you think, like, that close pass, he's doing it as a gesture to express his dissatisfaction with whatever I'm doing. Actually, what he's doing could knock me off my bike and kill me. Now, this isn't just a empty rant. I'm going to submit that footage, so I probably haven't put it on this video because you're not supposed to put it on social media until you submit it. I'm going to take some action. I don't know how or what I'm going to do, but there needs to be something done, doesn't there? Drivers obviously don't understand that people ride a bike, so just people riding bikes. Anyway, I need to get around this bike ride, so I should probably continue. Just been going down some proper winter Derbyshire lanes, like mud, leaves, gravel, holes. It's my own poor route planning, but this is what it is. I don't want things like road incidents to try and detract from how awesome riding a bike is for you physically and mentally. It's just incredible, isn't it? What a sport. Get to see some awesome places, get some good exercise in, meet some cool people. I'm gonna do plenty more of that. But anyway, I've got about 2 hours to do, and then I'm gonna come to Vela Bavarian, see Dan at UK Bike Fit. Just gonna drop him off a wire to use for the GoPro that I've given him to use for this 7-day cycling world record attempt. And then from there home, it's pretty flat other than one hill, and there should be a stonking tailwind all the way. So I'm getting the headwind and climbing done before I get to Dan's, hopefully. Morning, Dan. Dan is just trying to escape. Oh, it's afternoon, isn't it? Just been to see Dan at UK Bike Fit to give you a wire so that you can become the digital team for this 7-day world record. Anything you throw at me, I'm taking, Luke. So thank you very much for the challenge tyre. All set, ready to go. A couple of weeks to go, isn't it?
2 weeks till I go out, 1 week till Lee goes out. So yeah, it's pretty exciting now.
You're not invited to the pre-event training camp?
No, I couldn't spend that long with him. 1 week's enough.
Brilliant. Okay. So we hope that Lee, everything goes to plan. If it doesn't go to plan for any reason, are you going to give it a crack? Are you taking your bike with you?
Yeah, easy. It doesn't matter who the cyclist is, does it?
No, yes it doesn't.
I'll take my form.
Brilliant.
All right. With my 33mm tyres.
All the best. In the next couple of weeks then, we'll get the video out where Dan has been doing some testing. You've recently been with Lee to the heat chamber in Loughborough as well.
Yeah, it's the climate chamber. It's just basically doing a bit of training in there to obviously acclimatise to the temperatures that we're going to get out there. So
yeah.
I think
have you released where it is yet or not?
Yes, public knowledge now. So yeah, going to Miami, Florida.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah,
I can see why you said yes to go in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, free holiday.
Yeah. Did they tell you off in the heat chamber for stripping off again?
Oh, it's
just
I'm blacklisted now.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, good luck. See you soon.
Thank you, mate. You too.
Meanwhile,
you're not doing it.
Well, it's tough, long days, 24 hours, whatever. Yeah. Meanwhile, you might think that there's a cost of living crisis, not in Vela Bavarian. Bikes flying out the door, Luke, is it?
Yeah, I just did a bit of mechanicking. Putting a line on. I think I actually put it on upside down, and I'm trying to figure it out. Just put some bottle cages on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's upside down or not. Might be right. Yeah, so...
no warranties.
Yeah. This is just sold this morning, which is the new Pinarello Prince.
So what's the difference between this and a Dogma?
Now you're asking. So the Prince incorporates old technology from previous generations of Dogmas. So the state-of-the-art sort of highest tech carbon that was available perhaps for the F8 will now be used on Prince. Yeah. Similar sort of geometry but less racy, so a little bit more relaxed. So yeah, they sort of passed down the technology and the tech from technology and the tech, both of them.
Both things. Yeah.
From the top models over the years, so it's quite a good way of doing it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice bike.
It's only like buying a previous year's. Like I've got the rim brake Canyon Canyon Air Road, which is probably 4 or 5 years old. So it's the same sort of thing. Makes it a bit more accessible cost-wise as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do really well. Like they call it mid-range.
Yeah.
So it's still an expensive bike, but it's their mid-range basically. So it sits in the market sort of below premium, but above sort of entry level. So yeah, that looks really nice.
We'll take a mechanical, disc brake, shallow wheels. Good.
Yeah, good. Really cool. I had a quick go on it just to test it. The guy's about my height, and it's like really comfortable. I think one thing we find with
I bet he doesn't weigh as much as you, does he?
No, he does actually. He's a big lad. I'm only 69 kilos.
On Swift.
Swift, yeah. We always find that they just ride well. Sometimes you can't sort of put a quantity on it, but it's probably due to like the sort of quite high emphasis on compliance. Even with the Dogmas, obviously most brands have an aero bike and a climbing bike, whereas Pinarello just have a Dogma. So it's a bit more compliant than the standard aero bike. So it's an all-rounder. Obviously, you've got to be able to ride it for 3 weeks in a Grand Tour, and that sort of technology is definitely present in stuff like this.
Cool. And what Luke was just telling me before we picked the camera up was that size doesn't matter, because this is the tool that Luke's using to fit the bottle cage.
I mean, it's a bit too fiddly for my big hands, but yeah. I mean, these are the only ones I'm trusted with, the Lego tools.
Wicked. Good to see you, Luke.
Yeah.
See you later. Okay, ride done and dusted. I managed to stop my computer at Vela Bavarian, so both sets of rides stats on screen now. I think it was about 3 and a bit hours total, is it? 3 and a quarter, maybe 3.5? I don't know. I've got an hour before Liz and I need to set off to go to Norfolk to see Tri-Cy and Charlotte and family. And in that hour, I need to wash this absolute state of a bike I need to have a shower, I need to have some lunch, and I need to pack. Is that doable? I think that's doable. And I'm going to do this video on the way. I'll ask Liz to kindly drive. What a roller coaster today's video has been. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for some sort of tri-side related content.